thank you, well, massive thank you for buying the effect. It's something I've been working on and been performing for about 15 years. This is the original card that I used for my prediction when I started doing it. I still use it now. Basically, I think you obviously know the premise of what the effect is. Or you have two participants. One participant is asked to remove items from the box. And when they do so, the other participant is asked just to think of a letter of the alphabet, which has got nothing to do with the items. So, for example, they're not to think of a B for bottle, but just completely a random letter. Then the other person takes out another item, and then they think of another letter. Again, they don't say anything out loud at all. You've obviously already told your participants that you've made a prediction on the card to start with before you start. Then they take another item out, think of another letter, and then you have a target object. My target object that I've always used is an old English penny. This one's about 120 years old. I try and source everything as old as I can. So you'll get all this. And basically, once the coin has been the coin has been taken out of the box, you then kind of, no matter what order it's been done in, you kind of halt proceedings and say, great, thanks for doing that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to get to the prediction. And then you basically give one of the spectators the prediction, and mine says when the person on the left picks up the penny, which is the target one, the person on my right will be thinking of the letter, and you've already asked them at the end what letter they're thinking of when the penny gets taken out, and whatever letter they've thought of, you've predicted on the card in advance, and that's basically the effect. And it's done with a thumb writer. The reason I've picked the card, or it's been done on a card, is that it's so simple to write on. It covers the writing, just the way you naturally hold it, you can then write it. And also because it's card, it's obviously a lot firmer than a piece of paper to write it on. And what I've done is, the way I've written the prediction is, you obviously have already written the long prediction, and then all you're doing at the beginning of the effect is you're writing on here in front of them what you're predicting is that what letter is they're gonna think of. At the start of it, they don't even know that they're gonna be thinking of letters, so they don't even know what you're writing. You're just saying that you're writing a prediction. And I've left the space right in that bottom right hand corner, so it just feels completely natural as you're holding it. That's the way you would hold it anyway, to then fill in the letter in that space. Obviously, if you're left-handed, then you would write it and leave it so the last letter of the previous sentence would be above, and then you would leave that space down the bottom to write the prediction. You got plenty enough time once you've halted the proceedings, and you kind of, as you probably would, if you were really reading them, made that prediction, you want to find out why they thought of that letter. So you just kind of bring it into conversation. What was the reason you thought of that letter? Was it a random thing? Was there a reason? Did it jump into your mind right at that? So as you're asking them and they're giving you the answer of why they thought of the letter, you're just writing it in quite simply, and then you're just popping it back down on the table. And then when they've told you why they've thought of that particular letter, then you just hand them the prediction, or one of them the prediction, and then they read it out to reveal that you've correctly predicted what letter they were thinking of. I've given you 2 pencils and a piece of card. I haven't written the prediction on the card, just because I thought it kind of makes sense that you do it yourself. And leave that space. So one pencil is to write the prediction. The other pencil is to be used in performance, because it makes a sound but it doesn't actually write anything. So as you're doing it in front of them, you can say, I'm just going to make a prediction that we're going to get to in a second or a little bit later on. And you just kind of make a squiggle. They can hear that you're doing something. You pop the pencil down. Obviously, there's nothing there. So as you pop it down for later on, to be able to get your nail writing or thumb writing, there's that space there. And all I've done is I've coated the end with nail varnish. It's a clear nail varnish, lacquer. So you've probably got 2 or 3 or 4 coatings on there. So that should be fine for loads of performances. So that's the basic effect. Just a couple of points on the order that they take the items out of the box. It doesn't really matter. If they were to go for the coin first, you've kind of got a hit straight away, because it's kind of, oh, that's what you've made the prediction about, and you pick that one straight away, so it's kind of a hit. Also, if they take out the other items and they leave the coin last, you can make a point of that as well. Oh, you know, why do you think you left the coin until last? But if they don't, if they pick it second, third, fourth, it's never, you know, no, they're not going to pick you up on in what order they pick the coin up in. Also, just because it's a simple method, genuinely do not underestimate the power of this effect. Because you've kind of dressed it up, it's kind of a mysterious kind of an effect anyway. And it doesn't play as a magic trick. It doesn't play as anything apart from you've kind of done what you said you're going to do. You're not going to get massive reactions like a card trick if a card disappears and it appears in their hat or wherever. But they will think it's real. I think, yeah, you'll be surprised at the effect that it does have on people, and just the way that it plays out. The original idea that this came from was from Barry Richardson and his book Theatre of the Mind, and he's got some amazing effects in there. All I've kind of done is added the old box and the old bits and pieces inside, so hopefully you'll enjoy performing the box. Just another quick note, I kind of used a backstory that my great grandma, it was her box, and that she had a power called the knowing, and I've kind of inherited that power kind of thing. And you obviously can use whatever story, but I've popped in, I've made some old Victorian cards, which you can use if you want to create your backstory, or not. But it looks quite cool, you know, alongside the box. It just gives it a kind of another bit of genuine oldness. And I really hope you enjoy performing. If you've got any issues with any of it, then let me know. I'll give you my email address. Let me know any questions that you've got or any ideas that you come up with, because I'm always changing it. I don't think I play it twice every time I do it. Sometimes I do it in here, sometimes I take it out and about and I go to places when I'm performing. And I always change it or adapt it for the occasion or for the venue that I'm at. So let me know how you get on, and please really do perform it. I hope it's not going to be one of these things that, you know, it looks nice on the sideboard or wherever you put it, or it's going to be, you know, put away. I've got so many drawers of stuff that I just don't use because, well, for whatever reason, but I really do. I think once you perform this a couple of times, and you'll see the reactions that you'll get from it, and the fact that it's quite a simple, because I'm really lazy when it comes to performing. I don't want to put myself under any pressure. I want to make sure that the effect is going to, you know, come off every time. And I think this is one of those. It ticks a lot of boxes when you're performing. And thanks again for buying it, and I really hope you enjoy performing it.